Have you ever wondered why Japan has one of the highest life expectancies in the world? Why their cities are so clean? Why most people seem calm, focused, and purposeful? It's not genetics, and it's not luck. It's about habits. Tiny habits that most people overlook. Habits so small that they almost seem insignificant. But that's exactly why they work. Today, I'm going to show you 7 tiny Japanese habits that create massive changes in your life. Not through dramatic overnight transformations, but through deep, lasting change that compounds over years. These aren't complicated rituals, and they aren't time-consuming. They're small, almost effortless actions, but when you do them consistently, they change everything. Because in Japan, there's a saying, the nail that sticks out gets hammered down. But there's another side to that philosophy. When everyone moves in harmony, the whole society rises. So, let's look at what this actually looks like in everyday life. Habit number 1: Kaizen. The first tiny habit is called Kaizen, and it might be the most powerful concept you ever learn. Kaizen means continuous improvement, but not the kind where you flip your whole life upside down at the start of the year and burn out within a few weeks. It's the complete opposite. It means improvements so small they're almost invisible. Just becoming 1% better every day. That's it. In Japanese companies, this philosophy exists everywhere. Toyota became one of the most successful car manufacturers in the world because of Kaizen. Not with massive changes, but by encouraging every employee to improve just one tiny thing every single day. A process that can be done 1 second faster. A tool that can be placed 2 centimeters closer. A step that can be removed entirely. It sounds insignificant, but when you do that every day for years, the results become astonishing. And it's not just for factories, it's for your life too. If you want to build your body, don't promise yourself an hour in the gym every day. Just do 1 push-up. 1. It's so easy you can't say no. And once you do 1, you'll probably do 5, then 10, and before you know it, it becomes a habit. If you want to read more books, don't force yourself to read for an hour. Just read 1 page. 1 page is nothing. But 1 page a day becomes 365 pages a year, more than some people read in 5 years. Kaizen removes friction. It makes progress invisible until the results can't be ignored anymore. Because the goal isn't to transform overnight. The goal is to never stop. Habit number 2: Ikigai. Ikigai is your reason for being. The thing that makes you get out of bed in the morning, not your job, not your responsibilities, something that gives your life meaning. In Okinawa, one of the blue zones where ordinary people often live past 100 years old, almost everyone can tell you their Ikigai. And researchers believe that having that sense of purpose is one of the main reasons they live so long. Because when you have a reason to wake up, your body wants to continue. But when life becomes meaningless, your health declines, your energy fades, and you age faster. Ikigai isn't about huge ambitions. It's not about changing the world or becoming famous. It can be as simple as gardening, teaching a skill, spending time with your grandchildren, crafting something with your hands. The key is that it's yours, not something society tells you should care about. Something that actually keeps you alive inside. And it has a framework. Ikigai lives at the intersection of these 4 things. What you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. When you find something that touches all 4, that becomes your Ikigai. And when you live according to it, everything else falls into place. But most people never ask these questions. They just float. They do what they're supposed to do and then wonder why life feels empty and meaningless. So pause right now and ask yourself, what do I love? What am I good at? What does the world need from me? How can I support myself doing it? You don't need all the answers today, but if you start asking, the answers will eventually come. Habit number 3: Hara Hachi Bu. The third tiny habit is Hara Hachi Bu, and it's one of the simplest techniques for longevity. Hara Hachi Bu means eat until you're 80% full. Not until you're stuffed. Not until you feel completely satisfied. Just 80%. In Okinawa, people say this phrase before every meal. It's a reminder, a moment of awareness that prevents overeating because the brain takes about 20 minutes to realize you're full. So, if you eat until you feel full, you've already eaten 20% more than you needed. And that extra 20% becomes weight gain, inflammation, fatigue, and accelerated aging. But if you stop at 80%, you eat exactly what your body needs, no more. And this slight calorie reduction has been proven in almost every animal study to increase lifespan. This isn't starving yourself. It means eating slowly, paying attention, putting your spoon down between bites, and asking yourself, am I still hungry, or am I just continuing because the food is here? Habit number 4, Shinrin-yoku. The fourth tiny habit is Shinrin-yoku, forest bathing. It's not exercise. It's not hiking. It's just being in nature, walking slowly, breathing deeply, paying attention to your surroundings. In Japan, doctors literally prescribe this. They say, go spend time in the forest. Not metaphorically, as actual medicine. And science supports it. When you spend time in nature, cortisol drops, blood pressure lowers, the immune system becomes stronger, and your mood improves. There's something about being among trees that resets the nervous system. Researchers think it's because of phytoncides, chemical compounds trees release to protect themselves from insects. And when you breathe them in, your body responds, stress hormones drop, the parasympathetic system activates, and you shift from fight or flight into calm and recovery. But here's the important part. You don't need to live in Japan. You don't need a real forest. You just need trees. A park, a green path, even a street lined with trees. The key is without distraction. No phone, no podcast, no purpose. Just walk slowly and pay attention. See the light through the leaves, hear the wind, smell the earth. Let your mind loosen. This isn't wasting time, it's recovery. And in a world that constantly demands your attention, this might be the most important hour of your week. Habit number 5, Gaman. The fifth tiny habit is Gaman, and it's one of the most misunderstood concepts in Japanese culture. Gaman means enduring with dignity, the ability to go through difficulty without complaining, to stay composed under pressure, to hold yourself together without falling apart. In the West, it might look like toxic positivity, as if it says ignore your feelings and stay silent. But Gaman is not that. Gaman isn't denying pain. It's refusing to let pain control you. It's that quiet strength that says, yeah, this is hard, but I will get through it. I don't need to announce my struggle. I don't need sympathy. I just need to keep going. And that is incredibly powerful. Because when you stop complaining, you stop defining yourself as a victim. You stop feeding the story where life attacks you. Instead, you take responsibility. You accept that hardship is part of life, and you choose how to respond. This isn't burying suffering. It's refusing to let suffering define you. And in a world where everyone broadcasts their problems looking for pity and validation, Gaman is a reminder that you don't need an audience to be strong. You just need presence. Habit number 6, Omotenashi/Omoyari. The sixth tiny habit is Omoyari, thoughtful empathy. It means putting yourself in someone else's place, sensing what someone needs before they ask. Acting with kindness, not because you have to, but because you consider how your actions affect others. In Japan, you see this everywhere. People speak quietly on trains so they don't disturb others. People clean up public spaces after they use them. People bow when they greet, not from inferiority, but from respect. A society built on the belief that everyone is connected, that your actions create ripples, and when you make life easier for others, everyone's life becomes easier. And this isn't just politeness. It's real. When everyone practices Omoyari, trust increases, stress decreases, and the community functions smoothly. But more than that, it makes you happier. Because when you stop focusing only on yourself, your problems feel smaller. Your perspective widens and you feel more connected to the world. So try this next time you're about to do something. Pause and ask, how will this affect other people? If you're listening to music, is it too loud? If you're talking on the phone, are you blocking someone's way? When you leave a space, is it cleaner than when you arrived? These tiny actions cost nothing but create waves that change everything. Habit number 7, Kintsugi. The 7th tiny habit is Kintsugi, the art of repairing broken pottery with gold. When a bowl or plate breaks in Japan, they don't throw it away, they fix it. But instead of hiding the cracks, they fill them with gold and the object becomes more valuable than before. Kintsugi is a metaphor for life. You break, you fail, you get hurt. But those things don't make you worthless. They make you real. And when you rebuild yourself, when you put your pieces back together, those cracks become part of your story. Something not to hide, but to be proud of. Because the strongest people are not the ones who never break. They're the ones who break and rebuild themselves and now carry that gold within them. So if you're going through a hard time right now, remember you're not ruined. You're becoming. And the version of you that comes out of this will be stronger, wiser, and more beautiful than before. Don't hide your scars. Let them shine. Final summary. So, here's what you need to remember. These 7 tiny habits are not quick fixes. They aren't hacks. They're principles of life. And principles take time. Kaizen teaches you that tiny improvements create huge results. Ikigai gives you a reason to continue. Hara Hachi Bu protects your health with one simple rule. Shinrin-yoku restores your mind in minutes. Gaman builds real endurance. Omoyari connects you to others through tiny actions. Kintsugi shows that failure isn't the end. You don't need to do all 7 at once. Pick one. Start extremely small. Let it become part of you. Then add another. Because Japanese people don't chase transformation. They build it grain by grain, habit by habit. And over a lifetime, those tiny habits create massive differences. A calm, purposeful, deeply fulfilling life. Not because it's perfect, but because it's intentional.